Okay, my neighbor James' scooter, we're going to give it a detail today. He doesn't want super shine, so we're going to use the black on the tires for one coat as a treatment on the tires, satin, all the plastics, rims, flat painted metals, basically the whole bike we're going to coat in the satin product. So we've got it totally clean. We use denatured alcohol on the plastics just to make sure they're fully stripped, because he was using some kind of crappy motorcycle shitty silicone product. Tires are clean, so let's wipe it on. So once your surface is properly prepped, you know, if there's nothing on that surface, which is the objective, because Renew Protect will form a covalent bond, polymers and ceramic on that surface. So it's just a matter of wiping it on. And I know what you're thinking. You're going for that button. You're going to click the text box and give me a smart-ass comment. No, this is not dangerous. Quite the opposite. This is made for motorcycles. Totally motorcycle safe. Got a lot of people, a lot of riders, a lot of builders, show bikes. They will even dress the tire face for seasonal storage or for a show. And that is totally safe. The only thing that's going to take this off for the next year, near year to 5 years, is abrasion. So as soon as you hit the road, it comes off. Be better if it stayed, because it would prevent dry rot for bikes that are stored, not ridden a lot, but totally safe. All right, there's half our tire coated in the black, and that will dry in a few minutes and completely form a dry seal. Let's do the rim. So as I said, James bike. James does not want high gloss, so we're doing satin. Surfaces are totally prepped, so let's just wipe it on. So you see what that is doing. That's plenty of shine, actually. So once that dries, it'll be a little less shine, but I think it will be to James' liking. It'll also help keep this rim clean. And I will be there for probably 2 years on this rim. So cut down your labor time cleaning your bike up. Also on the tire, with this dry seal, you won't need tire cleaners, any of this. Just a mild soap or even a pressure washer. You can spray it, it's not coming off, and dirt, dust will not stick to it. So we'll finish up with the satin on the rim and the black and move on around the bike. And again, our low gloss satin, and it really varies the amount of gloss as to the type of surface and even the age of the surface. How much does the Renew Protect, the product, soak in and inner bond, or how much actually sits on the surface? If you do a second coat, even with the satin product, it's going to come out shiny regardless, because you're just layering it on top. The second coat is not sitting inside and the surface and covalent bonding into the surface. It's a treatment, you know. That's what it's originally designed as, a treatment, true treatment for restoration and preservation of plastics and aeronautical planes, that is. So I think we'll leave that as a demo. That is one coat of satin. We'll get back to that. One more time. Our muffler shroud and the polymer ceramic blend can totally handle the heat. And again, this will be basically permanent. With this heat, okay, let's call it semi-permanent. So this may need it again in a year to 2 years. But as far as the trim work goes, the cables, hoses, I mean, that may go as long as 5 years. A quick note about the conditions of the plastic. So we have a very little fading. This is in quite good shape. So in that case, we don't need to restore the black pigment has not been exhausted by UV rays. But if you have fading, or if you just prefer that really rich, deep black semi-gloss, you will need the black. But in this case, satin will be ample to enhance the color and the existing carbon black levels within the plastic. So that's it. Abrasion, in this case, abrasion of the shoes is going to pull it off a little bit. There's no way around that. not only is it completely made for bikes, completely bike safe, you will notice on older vinyl plastics, you know, your grips on rubber, it's going to make them more tactile, and it replaces the plasticizers and the polymers that have been lost and broken over time and UV rays due to usage. And it interbonds, but it'll repair the elastomeric abilities and make this surface more tactile, and I will show you once this fully sets. All right, scooter is done, sealed and protected and restored, everything. So satin, black, which turned out, normally black's not that shiny, but I did put on a heavy coat, and it varies from tire to tire how it's going to be affected. And our tread face, a lot of people, a lot of guys, girls do this for seasonal storage. Very good idea. Keep in mind that abrasion will take this off very quickly on the roads. So get it where you want it, ideally, and apply it, roll it into the spot in the back of the garage, store it for the season, or if you're doing a show, a lot of guys do this for bike shows. Get it where you want it, then apply it. That is safe dry seal, completely safe dry seal. Hear that? Quite tactile, actually. I'll show you on the saddle what I mean by tactile. So, as I said, it restores the polymers, plasticizers, and makes the surface often even more grip, more tactile, especially on older exhausted surfaces. So that your ass is going nowhere on that saddle. So, satin, 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 and I can see a little imperfection I wanted to point out because it's a hot day. It dried very quickly, so there's a little bit of a line where I hit it and didn't continue to follow through in the same area, and that dried faster, and we're just going to put another coat to even that out. But it dried quick, so that is the issue with that. And also, often on older surfaces, unlike this one, but old surface, it will take 2 treatments because it may look a little imperfect, because it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It is soaking in, becoming part of the surface, and restoring those plastics. So 2 coats in some cases. I believe satin on that. Our metal, black. It will handle the heat for a while. This will last a year or 2 on the heat shroud. That, I don't know, 6 months. That's a lot to ask of a product. Again, black on the tire, satin on the rim, black, satin on the flooring there, and it is done. The detail is done on James' little scooter. It's a kick-ass little scooter, a lot of fun, handles very well. And the one thing I forgot, a detailing note, hand polish. On smooth plastics, non-textured plastics that are in decent shape at the shop, we tend to buff them. In this case, we just did a hand polish on a few different pieces of this scooter, polish and seal. If it's in bad shape, you've got plastics that are in bad shape, oxidized, weathered, then our gloss or a satin product to wipe on would do the trick. But in this case, you can just buff it out and it looks perfect.